All right, we're going into quarantine right now. Men over 20 are at the highest risk for spreading coronavirus. So we be quarantined in our garage and no one is to disturb us for 2 weeks. That sounds good. In the last episode, as I was doing the brake line upgrade, I noticed there were some things in the Corvette that are not necessarily safe for the track. So these spacers were on the car, and they had to actually cut the old studs to be able to get to everything, to be able to put this spacer on. And this is actually not really too safe. I wouldn't feel comfortable tracking this. So instead of just getting all new studs, this hub is probably really old. I got some new ones, and we're gonna take the hub, we're gonna take the whole brake assembly off the rotor, and then we're gonna take the hub out, and we're actually just gonna put a new hub right onto it. You might as well do it. This is a 120,000 mile Corvette, so it's probably got a lot of miles on these hubs. These probably aren't even the original ones anyway, but if they are, this will be good peace of mind for the future. So let's get started on trying to figure out a way to get this spacer off. So remove these two 22 millimeter nuts or bolts that'll actually hold the caliper on first. And these nuts on the hub are actually pretty seized up there. So, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to hang the caliper from the brand new brake line we just put in, because that won't be good. So take that out. And I got bungee cords. You know, your just typical Harbor Freight kind. And then I'm actually going to string the rear caliper from the bungee cord somewhere. That way it takes all the tension off of the actual brake line. So I just took bungee cords and strung that up over the upper control arm on that, just so the new braided brake line that we have doesn't sag too far. But now that we got that off, these I could not get off. So I'm just going to try to see if I can actually get the rotor off with it. I'll have to get new rotors too in the back, which these weren't too bad, but they're not as good as the front ones, I don't think. So probably just have to replace that too. So let's see if we can actually remove the rotor with the actual brake or remove the hub with the rotor on it. So I want to touch on this a little bit, as some people do ask me why I don't just take the car to a shop, or why don't I have somebody else do it? Because nobody will love your car or your baby as much as you do. And this is why. Whoever had this car before me probably went to a shop to have wheel spacers put on and then just gouged the absolute crap out of these and used red Loctite and said, that some bitch ain't going nowhere. And I'll tell you what, they're not. They never will go anywhere. They're stripped, just freaking shot. They're never gonna come off, because it's not their problem. Once it's gone and you drive off, it's not their problem anymore. No one will love your car as much as you do. So doing the work on it yourself sometimes is better than paying somebody else. Food for thought. If you guys are into cars, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I upload a video every week about cars, whether it's my Corvette C5 track car, my E36 BMW Turbo LS swap, a couple other cars I'm restoring with my dad, and some projects that I record and keep track of for some of my friends. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. All right, so instead of actually trying to beat the snot out of this with a big old metal hammer like someone would do if you take it to another shop, I just went to Harbor Freight and got a ball joint remover. Fits in here pretty good. We're just gonna torque that down and should pop it right off. Pop! No, the weed because the weed say pop! Shit works! You got the right tool for the job. Makes everything easier. Pop right off. Boom. Done. And what does Colin say? Another one. Another one. Alright, so we got that one out. Move that to the side, and I'll take this one out. And most of the hub should, or not the hub, basically taking the whole freaking knuckle off to get to the 3 freaking ones at the bottom. So keep cracking on that. So now that I got most of these out, I gotta undo the brackets for the brake, the e-brake. I could do those off camera. You're not gonna see it. Gotta get the last one out here at the bottom. The bottom ball joint knuckle bolt. It's the hardest one to get to. You gotta basically get everything else off, but I can't get to the hub nuts without getting this off. And I know you guys are thinking this isn't the funnest or coolest or like sexiest thing to do, but it's safety and maintenance for this, and tracking this thing, I wouldn't trust it, even though I really couldn't get it off. I wouldn't trust tracking it with that type of spacer on it. So now that we got that off, we'll pull everything off and we'll take the hub out. So, got the whole knuckle off, got the hub out. It was definitely a pain in the ass to get the hub nuts off, and they were red Loctited on there. Not sure if that's the procedure, I'll find it out. But we're gonna carefully put all this back together. There's our e-brake assembly, and there is our new hub. Much newer, cleaner, shinier, very pretty. And they're not cut off. Should be good. Very excited. All right, so there was red Loctite on this thing, and they were on here really good. I had to basically stand on the hub bolts to get them out. After some debate, I'm not gonna use red, I'm gonna use blue. I just feel safer using blue, and I feel like red is just too much. So if you guys know what I should be using on these, let me know, but I'm going with blue. I actually put it in the vise just like this, resting on that here, and then with this over, and I was able to torque it to 96 foot-pounds. It's always hard to torque stuff down when it's not bolted to anything, so this is the easiest way to do it. Now, don't worry, I did put anti-seize on the axle, so that will help the next time. Hopefully, I never have to do this, but these are wear items. They do wear out, so the next time I have to do this, so there. Now I'm jacking this up, get over the top, there like that. I'm gonna line everything up and then slowly let it down. Like so, into everything. Just like that. That actually worked out really good. So, all right, now I'm just gonna button everything back up and we'll get going on the other side. I broke my shit trying to get this thing off. And I know, I broke down, I had to go get it. I went to Harbor Freight and I never had an impact gun, and I should have gotten one so long ago because this thing came off so fucking easy. It wasn't even this thing ain't no joke, man. Jesus. Oh well. Got one now. Do this again, and I'm gonna try to hold it here since I did it once, just to show you how awesome this ball joint separator is. And you know, if you take this to another shop, just like I said before, people are probably gonna try to bang it with a hammer and just do all this stuff. And you know, mind you, a lot of suspension parts are aluminum, so you don't want to destroy them by smacking them with a giant ass hammer. So watch it. Pop! Boom! Oh, my brake pad popped out too. That's right, we're replacing those. But yeah, see how that cool that thing just popped right out. Awesome tool this thing is. I'll show you on this one too. The bottom one's a little harder. Boom, that was easy. This one's harder to do. You can't actually get access to it with the ball joint separator, but I just jacked up. I'll put the brake caliper back on and jack up from the brake caliper and then push down. And that's actually how I got that off. So if any of you guys are watching this right now, you know getting this bottom knuckle unstuck is probably the hardest thing because I can't use my ball joint separator. So what I did was I put the brake caliper on, I jacked it up just a little bit, And then I take this. Actually, I might just use a breaker bar, even though it's new. Put this right on the bottom of it, and then I'm gonna smack it down. Hit popped out, look at that. So I'm not hitting it directly. This is what's hitting it, and I'm hitting this, which I actually just got a new one of these because this one's broken from before, but it worked. So I should be able to take the hub right off. Oh, I'll take the X out. There it is. What I would say. All right, so as you remember before, when I got to this part, I had to use a breaker bar to get this off. These here. However, now that I got this thing, let's see if this does it. I had to stand on these essentially. Man, this thing works. I should zip them off now, right? Wow, that worked. These had red Loctite on them too. Sweet. God, they smell like butthole. Have you ever smelled the head bolts? They smell the same way. Now I know you guys are gonna think right now is I just got this brand new impact gun, aka Ugga Dugga machine, and I'm using a torque wrench because it's got torque these to 96 foot-pounds, and yeah, 96 foot-pounds, and I don't want to break things, make it worse. This is torque 2 spec, and that is the spec, so we're gonna go by the book on that. So we'll torque it down. Two. Got it. Sweet. That wraps it up for this week's episode. I gotta wait for those brakes to come in before I put them on. So make sure you guys stay up to date because I'll be doing that video next week. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. And just remember, you can't get coronavirus if you're driving around in your car all by yourself. Catch you in the next one.